Football Talk, the podcast with myself, Dave, and the ever... Well, I've called him Lovely once, so I'll call him Lovely again. It's Josh Cole.
Oh, hello. Use your best boxing announcement kind of entry. I wouldn't be a good boxer.
I also don't think that's a very good entry to do, where I was like, cool. He's normally a bit deeper, isn't he?
Josh, lovely, cool.
yeah, in the red corner.
With their big, strong arms coming in, yeah.
Exactly, Josh.
I think the writing's on the wall as soon as I enter the ring, being called lovely, looking like I do. I think the opponent will be like, ha, ha, ha.
This is in the bag. This is in the bag. That's everything. But anyway, football, Josh, football. We're not messing around today because I think we've got a fair bit to discuss because football is back. And
who else is back? Who else is back?
Gareth Bale is back, and Josh is as excited as a child in a sweet shop. Josh, talk us through it, mate. This is like I'm hosting today's podcast, but I feel like you're going to be speaking a lot because Gareth Bale is back. So
Bale is back, baby. He is back. Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, I'm actually probably more excited for the on the pitch performance of Sergio Reguilon. I'm not very good at his pronunciation yet. Reguilon?
I think it's Reguilon. Yeah, Reguilon.
I had a French twist to it, but he's obviously Spanish. But yeah, I'm probably more excited about that because I've got fears of Gareth Bale being injured for 90% of it and just banging one in against United or something, and just remembering that. But to have him back is just.
They say never go back.
Him and Harry Kane in the same side. It's just. I mean, it gets Lucas Moura out the side, which is just a positive.
But he's not going to come back and be 2013 Gareth Bale, is he?
No.
So
he's a legend.
What are you expecting? What are you expecting? What's your ambitions for what he does, and what are your actual realistic expectations of what you think he's going to do?
Well, my ambitions for what he does is that he has every single game is like away at Inter Milan. That's my ambitions for what he does. Hat trick every game. He's skinned everybody. Because I obviously he's not played much Real Madrid football last year, but he has played some Wales football. And watching him, he still has that desire for Wales. He kind of limits himself. He does have a good kind of defensive output as well as a winger, which needs to be kind of they need to provide. But my hope is that it's big time. It's big games. Or even games where we're 1-0 up and it ends up being 1-0. He just gets the second goal, plays 60 minutes, comes off, or he comes on and makes a difference. Just want that impact, that kind of actual tangible impact, or just want him to assist Harry Kane, just to whip it in. Free kicks now can be taken because we have a free kick taker rather than someone who might just be able to cross. I mean, we were like a few weeks away from Harry Kane back on corners. It was just. And just to see him there, that imposing figure on the right, Son, Kane, and Bale lining up the front three for maybe the 10 minutes they get to play with each other this season. It's just gonna be.
I can tell you're very excited. Yeah, I can tell you're very excited. Is it make or break Mourinho transfer? Is it?
No, there's no money. There's no money involved. It's like
20 million quid.
It's a free hit.
20 million quid he's costing you?
No!
In wages? Yeah.
No, we pay I haven't done the sums, but we're paying Harry Kane wages to him. No loan fee. It's just whatever. Just war off ducks back.
I honestly cannot decide if it's going to work or not.
It starts off poorly. He's injured. He's out for 4 weeks, and then we'll obviously be put on an intensive training program where he'll get injured again. Obviously, that's going to happen.
Nice.
So I mean, I'd earmark kind of November time for him to make a debut to get injured.
At some point it's cold, so he'll get injured in November.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's used to the warmer weather, isn't he now?
Yeah,
so he's
exactly.
Going to be more rigid. I am hopeful there'll be, because obviously it's an option for a second year. So I'm hopeful that he'll spend 2 years here because his first year will be so. Well, if it's amazing, then he might want to stay. Might have better offers than staying a second year.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
It's so amazing. We have to go and we can sell him now.
Yeah, I think I mean, Ross has commented saying, he gives just the lift to the dressing room is almost worth the value in wages and stuff like that. But that can very quickly disappear if...
Well, it'll soon disappear if Real Madrid Bale turns up and he's just the hated person in the dressing room. I think he...
I don't think that'll happen at Spurs.
No, I don't think that'll happen. I think as soon as he kind of comes through in a big moment, he's got that aura about him now. He's obviously an absolute legend. He has won more, 4 Champions Leagues in 5 years. He's won La Liga twice, Copa del Rey, and probably some other things that I've forgotten. He has come back a winner, and he knows how to win. So if it's in big moments, a winning goal, ice cool veins of just or a contribution, and then he can go, come on guys, just give it to me. I mean, but the bit I'm intrigued about is how Harry Kane will behave to this, because Harry Kane's been the main man for a few years now, the main man, and now
does Bale come straight in as the main man though?
Well, that's what I'm just about to ask you. What would you think? Who do you think is the biggest star in that side?
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane still?
I think Harry Kane, because he's been doing it whilst Bale has been playing golf in Real Madrid. I know Bale has obviously done amazing things in Real Madrid, but it has been tainted with how little football he's played in the last couple of seasons. And I still think you can't, even bringing Bale back, I don't think that removes Harry Kane as the star of Tottenham.
Okay, then the dynamic would be...
I was just going to say...
They both play a decent amount of football, and Harry Kane scores less than Bale. Bale outscores Kane, and you're like... it reverts back to kind of pre-Bale Sale era. How does Harry Kane feel about that? I mean, is he happy?
Well, surely if it gets Tottenham in the Champions League, he should be happy.
Yeah, I was going to say, if someone's outscoring Harry Kane and they played a good amount of football, then we're in a good place.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Spurs will be loving life if that happens. But I think, like I see it, is that if you were to buy Bale and sell Harry Kane, I don't think Bale does the same as Kane, which is why I say Kane is still the main man at Spurs. Yeah. So, and stays as the top dog. But I think it's... obviously, United were rumoured to be interested in him, and Reguilon, and both of them have gone to Spurs. I don't think... Well, the Reguilon...
Yeah, we texted about this during the week, and you didn't seem to...
Yeah, the Reguilon thing was because it was a buyback clause, which I think was holding it up. And basically, Real Madrid wanted to put a buyback clause in to say they could rebuy him after a season for like €5 million, maybe 10 million euros, £5 million ish, about what more than they've just sold him for, which is, and if you train him up for 2 years and then he becomes this absolute world beater, you're not going to get. That's not a good deal to sell him back to Madrid. But then
you've had 2 years of being a world beater, though.
Yeah, true. Yeah, very true. But
so I've never quite understood it. Like, there's been a lot of complaint around fans when I think it was a Dani Ceballos deal, and we didn't go for it. Arsenal did, and there was no option to buy. It's like, I can understand there's some long-term impacts of that, but if he's done well for you, he's done well for you. He might have helped you win a trophy. He might, and things change. At a point in time, the clubs might not have an option to buy, but in 2 years down the line, manager might have moved on either side of it, and it might be a goer because the parent club doesn't want him anymore, or he's done. Yeah. He's really set. You can't predict the future. So the fact that there's a buyback clause, again, I'm not overly fussed about. Like, if they want him back, that means he's contributed well for you for a couple of seasons or however long, and great. It's not ideal. You'd want to keep a player, but it's not a negative. It'll be a net positive overall.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm more seeing how you've got Bale.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's more disappointment in the fact that we didn't just offer that 20 million to cover that part of the wages or something and get him in. And then even if I am losing confidence in the Sancho deal day by day, I'm still over 50%.
I can't believe you still have confidence in it.
I'm still over 50% because I just think it'll be like Harry Maguire. It'll get to the end of the transfer window and we'll just pay what they want anyway. And Dortmund.
I know. I've got a feeling there's a difference between Dortmund and Leicester though in the selling parties. I think Dortmund like to have they go right. You know what? We don't need this.
Yeah, but I think again, if you just offer the money that they want, they'll say yes because that's the money they want. But anyway, I think the Bale one. I'm more disappointed in missing out on potentially having Gareth Bale as that impact attacking get a goal player than having Reguilon. And I
mean, for me, Ben Davies. I mean, it's funny because Gareth Bale comes in as obviously known Reguilon for a few years, and there's a photo going around of them as youngsters, and he obviously knows Ben Davies from his Wales time. It's like he's got which left back. If it, like I don't know, because for me, one is a very defensive left back who is somewhat reliable, although you can probably pick a highlight reel of important penalties he's given away in Champions League matches. But then there's Reguilon, who's like, oh no, I mean, he's completed more dribbles last season than Ben Davies has in his career. I mean, it's just like, it's exciting. That Son Reguilon left side looks sexy.
Is it opening up to Spurs playing three at the back with wing backs? And then a Bale and Kane up top?
That's the weird thing, because obviously we had the lopsided back four with, and Doherty, effectively right wing back for Wolves all last season, was signed, and we're like, okay, that makes sense. We're keeping Davies as left back, defensive on one side, attacking the other. Now we've gone both barrels. We're like, okay, what does that mean? And you don't really want a back three because our centre back area is probably our weakest area of the side. You don't want to be loading them in the side. I mean, Toby aside, David Sanchez, Eric Dyer, maybe Tanganga. I mean, Foyth is there, Karen Carter-Vickers is there. It's not exactly like, well, you want to get as many of these guys on the pitch as possible.
Yeah, it's like more when you were back in the day and you had Vertonghen, Alderweireld, and maybe like Eric Dyer when they were all in form.
Yeah, when Eric Dyer was in the situation you want was Eric Dyer was then a defensive midfielder, dropped back into defence and let Rose and Walker bomb on. Højbjerg has been dropping in a little bit, but I don't think it's his natural game to be part of the back line. But he seems somewhat adaptable, so maybe that's what we'll see. Højbjerg drop in with maybe covering a full-back slot for wherever someone's bombed on. But I mean, part of me just wants to see us go for it and go, you know what, going for we won't, but full-backs bombing on, two centre-backs, midfield of Ndombele and Lo Celso, who finally got some game time together during the week in the Europa League, where that was a comical match. And you've got Son, Bale, you've got
Kane,
and it's like, okay, right, that's what we're talking about. And
unfortunately, though, mate, your manager's Jose Mourinho, so that's never going to happen. So, yeah, never going to happen.
Yeah, but, there is a somewhat sour taste that Bale isn't rejoining in a Poch era.
Yeah, I know that would have been great. Again, so who do Spurs need to sell? Who do they? Do you need to sell anyone to recoup the money?
Yeah, I think we still. I mean, we left back. We've got. I mean, it depends where you put him, but Ryan Sessegnon.
Yeah. We've
got Danny Rose, Ben Davies, Sergio Reguilon, and Dennis Serkin, the youngster. So I imagine Sessegnon loan, Danny Rose. Danny Rose, I don't know what happens to him. To be honest with you, let's talk of Genoa. You still got.
What about Milan?
It made me sad. That did. That made me sad. It's like Bournemouth, Newcastle, any news on Milan? Huh? Pulls some absolute garbage out of his behind.
Yeah.
There's a few. I mean, Sergio Aurier was obviously talked to be going to Milan at some point. Whether he stays and is back up right back, there's obviously still some like One Foyth and Karen Carter-Vickers and players who kind of all that. Even Gazaniga's been talked about as going because we've got Hart now. So there is some other players, but I'd imagine we'd leave it to later on. So we've got a squad to deal with the very congested September, October, or September mainly, and then we'll sell them at the end. So we can kind of use them whilst we're going through this heavy patch of matches.
Yeah, okay. And obviously, well, I mean, it's good. It's been very good for Spurs. I think bringing in, the natural lift from Bale will be great. And the Reguilon signing makes sense, I think, for Spurs at left back. As you say, gives you that different option. But you've not been the only team that's been busy. Liverpool pulling... The Thiago transfer was sort of bubbling along in the background. But where on earth did Jota come from? Where's that transfer come from?
I know that. I mean, it's funny because they've just kind of been like... I don't know. I liken it to, there's the quiet kid at school who just suddenly lashes out. They've just been kind of like... Da-da-da-da-da. Thiago, Jota. Like, what? It's like, what? And he was just kind of like, and obviously, if anyone doesn't follow him, it's Fabrizio Romano is the guy he is the transfer market, isn't he? He just all deals kind of seemed. I don't even understand how he earned his money. To be honest with you, he just
I know
reporting news.
I know
he's like a freelance and just I don't know. But he called the deal and. Yeah, and I think it's a fantastic sign from him. I'm a big fan of Jota.
How does he fit in? How does he fit in? Because they've now got Salamana, Firmino, Origi, Shaqiri, Minimoto, and Jota, Brewster. I think that's it. I think that's their...
Okay, so I think there's talk of Ryan Brewster going.
Yeah.
I mean, Origi, apart from scoring some important goals, and Shaqiri, I think all three of those could be kind of on the out.
Do you get rid of Brewster and Origi, though? That's the thing I'm struggling with. Because then you don't have a striker. You've got wingers that will play potentially through the middle.
Yeah. No, I think some of those. Yeah, I think you'd want to keep something. Personally, I'd keep Brewster. I wouldn't sell him.
Okay.
But I mean, Jota is I think Wolves fans will probably think they've got Neto and Podence and probably think that they're not worse off, and talk of Jota being a bit somewhat flash in the pan, pops up every few matches and scores a goal. But I don't know, he looks a real talent to me. I remember because obviously he was tearing up in the Championship, and I was like, I'll be interested to see how he does in the Premier League. He's done it in the Premier League. He's comes off both wings, dribbles at speed, similar, I'd say, to Sadio Mane when he was at Southampton.
Yeah, okay.
Southampton fans called him a bit inconsistent, but I mean, the Jurgen Klopp way is turning inconsistent players consistent, isn't it? I mean, Virgil van Dijk had criticisms of inconsistency, and so did Salah. Was kind of didn't kind of maintain the season of performance, and so I imagine there's a good kind of precedence there for Jota being able to kind of step up and make the mark, but. It's similar to the Van der Beek signing for Man United. I can't see where he fits in the first 11, but he adds better depth, because when you looked at it, those players you reeled off, there's back up to the front three. It's a hell of a step down. Now there's a little lad has been put there. It's not so much of a step down. It smooths that transition between the first choice front three and the second choice.
Yeah, I mean, a very, very interesting question coming in from comment coming in is, do you find Klopp's comments at all a little condescending? Because obviously he previously said, well, we don't have any money, don't have any funds to go and buy players, and then they splurge 65 million on two people in the space of a week. Is it the Leeds result that's turning it around? How easily? I mean, they haven't strengthened the defence, and that's what you would argue after that Leeds game. That's what they needed to do. But
I don't know. I feel like comments from managers need to take on a pinch of salt. I mean, I was used to it with Poch when we commented on on injuries. He was always like, he just would make some comment and it'd be completely. I think they just want to kind of play the media a little bit sometimes, and you don't want to say, he's not going to say we've got loads of money, because then that affects things. But but I suppose with fans it kind of dampens expectations, dampens hopes a little bit. I think a lot of fans want to see transfers coming, they want to see sides being refreshed. Talk is of the transfers being very low upfront payments as well. So I don't know if he's talking about cash terms. There's a minimal cash outlay to begin with, and then it's spread over the quite a number of instalments. So whether he didn't feel those deals were able to structure that way, and that they haven't got the cash rather than the overall transfer fee, which will be spread over a number, which will be kind of spread. I think with managers, the more savvy they are, the more experienced they are, I wouldn't really pay too much attention to how they being literal in their terminology. He could be being cute with his phraseology there.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to touch on for confirmed transfers? We can go.
I just want to the Thiago transfer. I mean, he is immense. He is truly immense as a talent. He is just. I think he would be one of the underrated players. He's had that stint at Barca, stint at Bayern, but he's never kind of grabbed the headlines. But he is just absurdly good, and he will. It's actually a bit scary seeing like that. That really does make me rethink the kind of Liverpool second place, because that could really change the dynamic of their side. The ability to hold possession so high up the pitch, because he's just kind of the unpressable. Is
Wijnaldum out now? Do you think that's going to confirm the deal to Barca?
I'd be very surprised if he stays. Yeah, there seems to be a want of it's just a different challenge. Some players just want a different challenge every now and then, don't they? So I don't think it's obviously on the face of it, you see little reason to leave Liverpool. But as I said earlier in this season, I said that ultimately you've won the league and won the Champions League with a club. You might want to just try something different, might you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it does give Liverpool now options in central midfield. What have they got? Henderson, Keita, Fabinho, Thiago, still Wijnaldum at the moment.
And we've still yet to see the best of Naby Keita, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean,
who again is a similar talent to Thiago. He's got very good with the ball at his feet, kind of dribbling in tight spaces. He's a bit more progressive, I'd say. He drives forward a bit more, but there's some real talent in that midfield.
It really is. It's scarily talented, that central midfield. But yeah, okay. Any other transfer gossip that you wanted to touch on, like rumours and stuff? Anything like that caught your eye?
Are there any rumours for Man United to latch on to? Have you been able to have any hope?
Well, there's Ismail Sarr from Watford.
I like him.
Big fan. I do like him. I hope he's not the sort of, if we can't get Sancho, let's go and get Ismail Sarr. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, Lingard has been linked to Spurs this morning, £30 million. That's not me, mate. I think it was BBC that was reporting that. Yeah.
That's an absolute shock. I can say there's no chance of that.
No chance.
But we're not paying £30 million for Lingard. We got Dele Alli. We are complete in that. I don't even know what position you call them, to mention.
Attacking second striker, attacking mid, shadow striker.
No need for him whatsoever. We need a striker and a centre back now.
Okay. Let's just have a quick flick through. Chelsea have apparently come to the agreement for the goalkeeper from Rennes, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mendy.
We see Gonzalo Higuain joined Inter Miami.
I did see that. Going to link up with David Beckham into Miami. Yeah, he's become the best paid player ever in the MLS, I think, moving there. So
I don't feel like Florida's going to be good to Higuain. I don't feel like that.
Do you think it could be a Ronaldinho nightclub?
I mean, maybe maybe the COVID situation may help him there, but I don't feel like that's. I don't know. We've seen an out of shape Higuain in Serie A. I don't think we're going to see an more in shape Higuain in MLS.
No, but I think it's he could probably be out of shape in the MLS and still do really, really well.
Yeah, he is a talent. Yeah.
So, what else have we got here? Very quickly. Oh, the news that Everton actually signed James Rodriguez for free from Real Madrid. Did you see that?
Yes, I've seen it. It was funny when it came out. There's many differing transfer fees involved, but then we'll touch on it when we get to the reviews. But I mean, I think even paying a number of millions would have been a bargain, let alone a free.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, no, not too much really in terms of what's going on. There's still a bit floating around with Sergio Romero leaving United. I think it's now Valencia that have been linked to him.
Because after Villa got Emi Martinez, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is a bit of a. It's that Emilio. What's his name? Emiliano Martinez. Yeah, I think it's caused a bit of a split in opinion from football fans. Loads of people think it's an absolute bargain. Like, look how he ended the season. He's clearly a good goalkeeper. He should have been challenging Leno for the first team spot. And then you got all the others that are like 20 million. Like, he only played 12 games or something.
I was about to say, how many games did he play? I mean, there's players who can look like a world beater. You see players like strikers, for example, they come in January transfer window, and score like a number of goals. I mean, they have a full season, know that they're being relied on as number one. It's a change of mentality. Like, Emi Martinez had a point to prove. He's like, right, this is my opportunity. I might not get it again. I need to prove this. Now he's at Villa being number one. He's like, I'm number one now. It's a different mentality. This isn't his club he's always been at. I would say it's definitely a risk. You can't. I mean, it's like signing a player off the back of a World Cup or a Euros. Yeah. It's such a small sample of games.
That's how I see it as well. That's how I see it. Yeah. And obviously, if you've read the wonderful book, which is Soccernomics, it'll always say, don't judge player performance at a World Cup because they'll always be or big international tournaments.
Yeah.
Because they'll always be playing above their normal levels because it's the hype and the adrenaline of representing your country at that world stage. Yeah. But anyway, let's move on from transfers. I know that you wanted to highlight I was going to say football match, and we started with boxing, so we'll link into that. The PSG game.
Oh my goodness! And then so if you haven't seen this, is PSG Marseille. It must be entering the kind of final few minutes, and Marseille are 1-0 up in what's it called? Le Classique.
I think it's Le Classique. Yeah.
Yeah, and It looks somewhat innocuous, kind of nudge as a ball flies through the air, and then oh hell! Do you know what? All hell breaks loose, and players everywhere. And my only disappointment in a situation like this is I can't take it all in.
No,
I can't. Yeah, it's just so much going on. It's just
See, we've had this. I think it must have been in last season's podcast where we've said you love a bit of a brawl on the pitch, don't you? You love to see it. You love to see it. But was this too much of a brawl for you? You couldn't keep up.
It was almost too much for me to take in. Yeah, I do love a brawl because it's just and I like if commentators go, oh, no one wants to see this. Like, incorrect. Love to see this stuff.
Yes, we do. Yeah. I mean, there's been rumours of
words being exchanged.
Yes, words being exchanged that aren't pleasant, and Neymar hit someone in the back of the head. If that's his best punch, then I don't think there's anything to be worried about. It was all very odd. It was 3 red cards in the 91st minute onwards, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. It was just bizarre, absolutely bizarre. And PSG obviously getting off to a pretty bad start in Liga as well.
How many titles won in a row? Bad start. In another European country, we have Germany. We have Bayern Munich getting off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, I mean, not bad, is it? Not bad. It's like 8-0 with the new signing getting a goal. And was it the one goal, Serge Gnabry getting an assist? Serge Gnabry getting a hat-trick after West Brom said Tony Pulis said he wasn't good enough for West Brom. And I've picked them to win the Champions League, so I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I reckon out of all my pre-season predictions, I reckon that's the one I'm probably most confident about.
Well, after seeing you betting yesterday, Dave, I don't have too much faith in them.
Give over. Well, we'll go into that now. We'll bring that forward.
Let's go for it, Dave. Go for it.
Obviously, we've got sensible betting with Josh and Dave. That's our little jingle for that one. And as you can see on the screen, Josh has 1 green tick and 1 red cross, and I have 2 red crosses. So, Josh, you went for a winning bet of Everton, Leeds and Arsenal to win, and you had a handicap, I think, didn't you, on one of them?
No, it was all pure betting. Yeah, pure outright wins, no handicaps. Yeah.
Okay, pure acca, and you did well.
I mean, there were times where it felt like it was a bit nerve-wracking. Obviously, Everton going goal down, but then they kind of won pretty comfortably. We then had a very tight game for the Leeds Fulham, and then again another tight game for the Arsenal West Ham. But that came through, and I'm now some pennies richer. It was fun. It's a bit of fun, Dave.
You made a profit of 96p in total on that day, which puts you at a profit of 76p overall. Nice. I placed 2 bets and didn't win either of them. And annoyingly, I had James Rodriguez to have over 0.5 shots on target in each half. So 1 shot on target each half. I thought, that's all right. That'll be pretty good. Yeah. Didn't happen. He had 2 shots on target, but both in the second half. Very annoying. And then I had do you know what? He
scored in the first half, didn't he?
Oh, was it a goal in the first half? Was it? Sorry, I must have.
I can't remember when his goal was, but yeah.
But yes, which was a little bit annoying. And my second bet was a penalty to be awarded in the Arsenal-West Ham game, because I just thought that West Ham wouldn't be able to keep up with Arsenal's fluid sort of attacking. That didn't happen. But do you know what 2 bets I was hovering over before I made those? And then I thought, I won't bet on the Man United game. Nah, I won't bet on that. The 2 bets I had, Josh, were Bruno Fernandes to have over 0.5 shots on target in each half, which did happen, and a penalty to be awarded in the Man United Crystal Palace game.
I mean, surely a penalty to be awarded in the Man United match can be such poor odds. I mean, maybe a penalty awarded to the opposition team in a Man United match might be better.
So, but in week 2 of Sensible Betting with Josh and Dave, Josh is back in it, and we both have a nice green bar in the thermometer. We are still both up on money. I have got more than you in the bank, Josh.
Have you? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I didn't know where we stood.
Yeah, because I got my bet last week had a return of like £6.
Oh my goodness. Okay, right. So, I've got a lot of big mountain to climb then. Yeah.
Yeah. So I am ahead in the betting stakes, but it was fun. It was fun.
Absolutely.
We put a few little bit of pennies on it. Made it a bit of fun for games that I'd say generally we're obviously interested in all football, but this makes the outcome a bit more interesting. Come regards to it. Any thoughts for next week? Have you got any games like
I've got.
fixtures,
I mean, I'm tempted by like over X amount of goals in a Leeds match. They've got 7 matches in both their first 2 games, so obviously I'm going to bet on. I'll probably bet on a 0-0 actually.
Yeah, 0-0 in the next Leeds game.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm tempted by. Who have you got next week? Actually, who have Spurs got next week?
Ooh, I don't know. There's too many games for me to keep track of.
Yeah.
Let me just.
I keep finding that because you've got you play today, obviously.
We do play today against Southampton, and then we next play against Newcastle next Sunday.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do something about Tottenham winning some
No.
sort.
No. Do not do Tottenham. Newcastle are a bogey side for us. I would put money on Newcastle getting something out of that match.
Well, you've got your own money, but you've got your own 50p. You can put it on.
I've got my own money, Dave.
So
yeah, I may put all of it.
You're so confident. But yeah, no, good. So well done, Josh. Well done, Josh, for your winning bet in last week's round of sensible betting with Josh and Dave. So well done. You can follow it on Twitter. We actually put a poll out as well. So congratulations to the 59% of people, I think, that voted that Josh would do better this week. Technically, he's still losing overall because he's not had a big payout of cash. But you did have a bit of a strange payout of cash, though, didn't you?
What I couldn't quite understand is that I put the bet on for the triple for those 3 sides to win to return £1.85, and then when I went into my account, it said cash out now at £1.96, and I was like, yes, please. So I don't know whether there must be some little bonus that the Bet365, the company I bet with, offering, but I was like 11p more than I thought I was going to get. I would take it. So
take that.
Thank you, Bet365, for increasing my fun.
Definitely. So, yes, always remember if you are doing your bets, do it sensibly. Only bet what you can afford, and play along with us. It's good fun. 50p bets, pretty harmless if you've got the money to spend. Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on, Josh, to go for the quiz. Is that next?
Yes, let's do it.
Quiz.
Ooh, la 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 la. It's quizzing time.
Oh, you cut it short. I was dancing.
Yeah. Redacted version, mate. Yeah.
You get. Right, the quiz is not on the screen because I haven't loaded up the right image.
Oh, no.
But it's fine. It's fine. It won't take me long to sort it out because I know exactly where it is. So, Josh, you might as well start describing it because...
Absolutely. Well, in light of the biggest transfer in recent decades back into Tottenham's ranks, and a little quiz on Gareth Bale. Simple 5 questions on Gareth Frank Bale?
No, is it?
No, that's not right. That's not one of the questions, Dave. That's first question. What is Gareth Bale's middle name?
Jemima.
Gareth Frank Bale.
Oh, he did get it. Yeah. Gareth Frank Bale, you have got too much time on your hands.
Yes, okay. So have you brought it up on screen yet,
Yeah,
Dave?
quiz is on screen. It's on screen.
Okay, Dave. Just little 5 questions just to get you to know Gareth, so you get to know Gareth Bale. So, first question. And I want this on the nose, Dave. I want this on the nose. Oh. How much did Spurs sell Gareth Bale to Real Madrid for?
£105 million.
That is so badly wrong. That is embarrassing.
Is it like £80 million?
Yes, £86 million.
Yeah, I was going to go 80, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it was more than that. But no, I should have. Well, it was 86. Yeah.
I should have 6 million more. Yeah. Okay. What was significant about Gareth Bale's first 25 matches for Spurs?
They had never... He had never been on the winning side?
Yes, none of those matches were won by Tottenham.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. Okay. Gareth catapulted himself to stardom with a Champions League hat-trick for Spurs in 2010. Against which side?
Inter Milan.
No, correct. Gareth has a trademark goal celebration. What is it?
Oh, it's the... I'm going to just go back to the cameras because it's that. The heart.
Yes, and for a bonus point, do you know what he trademarked that as?
No. I was going to say some sort of charity thing.
No, he called that the 11 of Hearts.
The 11 of Hearts. Oh, very clever for him.
Which is incredibly clever.
Yeah, well done.
I mean, yeah, but he obviously didn't come up with that.
No.
So the final question. After helping Wales clinch Euro 2020 qualification by beating Hungary, Gareth celebrated with a flag quoting his supposed preferences in life. What did it say?
Wales, Golf, Madrid in that order.
Wales, Golf, Madrid, bingo, bongo, bango. That is correct, Dave. That is a whopping 80%, 4 out of 5.
Take it.
Nice. And where do you reckon Spurs would sit in that now, Dave? If you had to do that, where do you reckon would it be? Wales, Golf, Spurs?
Probably, yeah. It probably would be. No, I don't know. I think Wales, Spurs, Golf. I think he would. I think at this current time, I think he would put Spurs above golf, and that's because just it's a bit colder in the UK, so we can't play as much golf.
Yeah, it's kind of going out of the golf season now. You got a little bit of autumn golf, but when we'll be playing golf like from November, late November onwards till about March time.
No, exactly.
Brave souls.
And talking of golf, Josh, that's when I'm gonna get another level up on you guys because I don't need to stop over here. I can play.
This is true. Yeah, I will be stopping. I'll probably play to mid-November, maybe a few range sessions or a nice sunny weekend I might play, but you got warm weather training you've got, haven't you?
I know. I'm prepping for the is it the AAA Cup?
Oh god, the AAA Cup is going to change sports, isn't it?
Or is it the Did He Score Under Par trophy?
Oh, the Did He Score Under? Yeah, I mean it could be. We could keep a trip. We have a AAA Cup for football and the Did He Score Under Par trophy for golf. Have you got a handicap, Dave?
No, because I probably previously when I was in the UK, I tracked all my courses, all my scores, and got to 24 and had a handicap of 24. But I've never had an official one because you need to be a member of a club to get official handicaps. Yeah. So unofficially I was 24, but I'd say I'm probably back up to like a 26, 27 now. So
okay,
yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm okay.
Do you have just quickly? This is obviously a little bit of golf chat. So Dave and I have kind of through lockdown have really kind of increased our golf volume, haven't we, Dave?
We have.
Do you have a dream? Do you have a desire of what you want that handicap to be, or is that not something you're looking to track and improve on? Is it so you're having fun?
My handicap isn't something I'm really tracking. It's more a case of I want to be able to, like, I'm having lessons so that when I go and address the ball, I know that ball's going to go 90 to 95% of the time. It's going to go straight in, like, towards the target that I'm aiming at a certain distance, and has minimal sort of right and left movement. So yeah, and I'm not quite there yet. And then naturally the handicap will come down with that anyway, because that's golfing and hitting it forward. So, but yeah, it's more just I want to be confident about approaching the ball and know what to do and how to play those shots. So, what about you?
Nice. So first off, it would be to get a handicap. So I typically play 9 holes rather than 18, or a bit of range practice. So first point would be to get a handicap. And I think ultimately the aim would be to get a decent handicap. I mean, the aim would be to be single figures handicap.
Wow.
Probably just cusp of it, like 9. But that would be the aim. I feel like there's something in there just lacks a lot of consistency. But I feel like that would be the challenge. I probably won't get there, but I think that's what the target would be.
Nice, very nice. Well, we'll go from talking about our results in golf to talking about the results in the Premier League.
Results in the Premier League.
Yeah. And, well, we both know that, Tottenham played today and Man United didn't play yesterday. Like, that just didn't happen.
So we had nothing to cover on our side.
So, we can crack on and go for the early kickoff, which was... What the hell was the early kickoff?
It's the Victor and Eacheby derby.
It was the Victor and Eacheby derby. It was. It was Everton versus someone in a very high-scoring... West Bromwich Albion, in a very high-scoring game again.
I mean, it's already the form side and the outer form side in the league, which is quite impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Everton played really well against Spurs last week and won just by 1 goal. And they played better football, but I think it's a reasonably even match overall. But they came from behind, 5 goals scored. James gets a goal and assist. Calvert-Lewin gets a hat-trick, is on 4 goals already. Richarlison has now matched his assists for last season. They're top of the table. Pretty good for Everton so far, I'd say.
Yeah, I think Carlo Ancelotti's doing well. He's got them.
James and Allen and Doucouré have been a refreshing new midfield and haven't taken time to adapt. I would. My word of caution would be that there is sometimes a lull, so they would come in all guns blazing, and then it might get to them kind of around that Christmas time where it gets a bit manic, and you will see a lull. But at the moment, going great guns.
Yeah, they're playing very well. A good first career hat trick for DCL, as he's being called, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I quite liked. I think it was the header
Yep.
A really good header down into the ground, lovely header. And I think West Brom... I questioned when I saw West Brom still have Kieran Gibbs in their team. And I was like, I honestly didn't think he was still playing football. And he obviously thought that, which is why I only wanted to play one half before getting sent off.
And he did his little bit of boxing. He absolutely lost it.
Yeah.
And pushed James in the face. I mean, if he'd pushed him on the shoulder, I think he'd have been, yellow.
Yeah. So
actually gets him flush in the face with two hands.
It's stupid.
Off.
Stupid.
Yeah, definitely red. And what do you reckon about Slaven Bilic? Red?
Yeah. It's got.
I think so, because it just lacks complete respect. You're like in front of all the cameras. Referee's done his job, doing his job, and you're there shouting in his face. When is that tolerable in any place of work ever?
I think
if someone did that, you'd be completely going, get the out of here. Just calm down. You just need to, and you're not getting it. So he's got these, these abilities. The referee has, certain his jurisdiction. He can send him off, and I think we're perfect with his rights to do so.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. Football is a bit of a bubble when it comes to rules about language and abuse, and wrongly, in my opinion, it should.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's the right thing to do. I just wanted to see it consistently done.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah, there is. It may now be consistent from this point, but there's always and I'll chat about it later on with some VAR decision. It just seems a bit of a change of pace, because you don't often see that being done. Like, there's a lot of swearing, a lot of abuse given to refs, and not all of them take that action.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but very good. 7 goals in a game again. Costa Pereira from West Brom. I know he's on the losing team, but he does look pretty handy. There's a lot of chat about him in the Championship, and he seems to be stepping up and got a goal and an assist, I think, in the game.
Chris Brunt-esque. I think Chris Brunt scored a very similar free kick for West Brom against Everton. That was lovely. And Jordan Pickford is very poor from outside the box. Like, both these goals from outside the box, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He is a weakness of his, which is not a great weakness to have.
As a goalkeeper, that's the ones you should probably save.
Yeah.
So shots from further away, you should have a higher chance of saving as a goalkeeper, I'd suggest. But any other thoughts on the Everton and West Brom game? I mean, we all thought Everton would win. I don't think we ever.
Yeah, I think West Brom played okay. They had a decent low block and counter-attacking method until obviously Gibbs' red card. I think it would have been a much more interesting, close-fought match if the red card hadn't happened. I think obviously we're jumping on the Everton bandwagon. They played good football. They could easily have drawn last week. It was just kind of it wasn't like I said. They didn't create much more. I might sound like a bitter Spurs fan, but it wasn't like a whitewash. They just nicked it, which they wouldn't have done previously. Yeah. And this one, the red card did very much change the game. Kazoo, the Everton sponsor, is probably regretting committing £1,000 for every goal scored for Everton this season. But yeah, West Brom, I think. It does already look like they're one of the weaker sides, and it was to be expected. But 2 penalties, 2 games, 2 red cards, bottom of the league. It's not looking great. I can't really see their way out of it. I just think they'll just kind of muddle on through this season.
Yeah, I think you said last week it would be a valiant, sort of Norwich valiant effort, but ultimately...
Yeah, I can't see them. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I can't see them sacking Slaven anytime soon or splurging anytime soon. I think they're just kind of going to take their medicine, really.
Yeah, okay. And one last question then, Everton. What are their now aspirations? Are they potential Champions League contenders, Europa League, or just still sort of top 9, 8 position?
I think they'd have aspirations of top 6, quietly of top 4, but I think that's a long way off, personally.
Yeah.
I think that they'll probably battle for top 6 and fade away and be top 9 again.
Okay, fair enough. So moving from one 7-goal thriller to another.
Yes.
Have you got a derby?
Yeah, David Healy.
The David Healy derby.
Northern Irish. Do you remember how he was spoken? Yeah, he was like
forward.
Like does get like Northern Ireland records goal scorer or something, wasn't he?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Absolutely crazy game. Yeah,
it's been pretty intense if you're a Leeds fan so far, isn't it?
It's been brilliant if you're a Leeds fan, even because you're winning and you don't like. It's entertaining. These are the sort of games that you wish you had fans in the stadium.
Do you remember they did lose against Liverpool last week? That's not that brilliant.
The way they play, they lost 4-3 again. It's not.
Yeah.
Still think you would have. I think if you're a Leeds fan and you're playing Liverpool away first game of the season, you would have thought 4-0, 3-0, 4-0. To go there and score 3 goals and then get 4 goals at home in your first game against the team that got promoted with you, I think you'd be well happy. I think you'd be happy.
How many penalties have been in the Liverpool and the Leeds game so far? So there was 3 last week. Was it? They gave away 2. Did Leeds have a penalty as well? I think. And they gave away the same player gave away 1 this week, and
then so it's 4 penalties in 2 games, is it? Yeah,
they probably need to reduce that a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but I'm trying to think where to start. I mean, Fulham looked like a different animal with Mitrovic up front.
Oh yeah, you love Mitrovic.
I do.
It was quite funny. His second goal was like he had the ball at his feet and didn't go anywhere. And then he gets the ball at his head and it goes in. It's like, yep, that's pretty much the player I think it's going to be.
Yeah, that's fine. It went in. What does it matter? Leave him alone, you bully. Yeah, absolutely.
Patrick Bamford is scoring goals, which is quite a nice
surprise.
Change of pace.
It's a surprise. Yeah. He's shocking. I don't know.
No, he's a good forward. He's like he does almost everything else really well, and he's not great for a forward to not score goals, but that's 2 in 2.
Yeah, true. I guess that is what I said of Andy Carroll last week. I said if he's got the job and he's getting assists and winning, doing his battles, and someone else is there to put the ball in the back of the net. Doesn't really matter. So Helder Costa as well was signed Wolves, wasn't he, last season, I think, and on loan, and then they made it permanent.
Looters of finishes there, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it Leeds' problem. Fulham have tried to strengthen in goal with Nipple Boy from PSG,
Areola. Yes.
Yeah. Do Leeds need a new goalkeeper? Because this young French guy they're playing, Messalias or whatever his name is, really doesn't look very good. And Casillo is in quite a lot of trouble. So,
yes. I mean, I can offer them 1 Gazaniga if they want to take it.
Yeah, it could be potential. Romero, Argentinian, go with Bielsa.
Both 2 Argentinians. Yeah, go for them both. Yeah,
just take them both.
Take them off my hand.
But I mean, what are your thoughts on the Leeds Fulham game? Is there anything you wanna?
I think Leeds are showing good promise. They are conceding far too many goals. Cox has given away 2 penalties in 2 matches. I mean, Fulham have given away 2 penalties in 2 matches as well, actually. I know it's 2 matches in the same game, wasn't it? 2 penalties in the same game. I think Leeds are showing much more promise. The 4-1 up, they should have done a lot better to close that out. But at the same time, Fulham let themselves get 4-1 down. It's just a bit too much to ask, really.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of goals conceded. I mean, both teams have conceded 7 in their opening 2, but... Yeah, wrong way for Fulham in terms of goals scored. I just think they've scored a couple of goals from open play in that match, which will give them confidence, though. So it's not exactly been free-flowing goals in the tail end of last season from open play. Is
it going to push? Is the start that Fulham have had going to push them into the transfer market a bit more? Do you think? Are they going to try and spend a bit of this money they've got from the Premier League and for coming up, or do you think they're going to try and play it a bit safer and just if they go down, then they've got the money back?
They won't make the same splurge mistake they did 2 years ago.
No, okay.
They may dip in a little bit, but it will dip rather than a full-on running bomb they did last time.
Running bomb.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, we'll move on to...
the Wilfried Zaha derby.
The Wilfried Zaha derby, the Fraser Campbell derby.
I chose Wilfried Zaha because I missed this game and turned on when I caught Kelly Cates doing a straight down the camera apology for Patrice Evra had just overtly stated that Zaha had
relations
slept with David Moyes' daughter and she had to apologise for it. Patrice Evra is loose cannon.
Yeah, Patrice Evra, I don't think he's going to really be in work much more for Sky.
I think it might be that done with because he's quite honest about it. He's quite upfront about you know where you're getting with him, but I think it's a bit too. I don't think the media like loose cannons.
No, and you can understand why. Yeah, you can understand why. So, but I mean, talking to Zaha, 2 goals, penalty.
Never a penalty.
And this is what annoys me about it's I was going to say inconsistencies. Is it even inconsistencies, or is it just that's again it's a flawed part of the rule? What could he have done? Lindelof was changing direction and running, and his arm.
I thought this would kind of come out because obviously Spurs had a similar penalty given in the opening minutes of the Champions League final.
Yeah.
And I thought this kind of rule would kind of changed, and I was like, oh right, okay, they're not going to be given anymore. I don't know how that was given as a penalty. I mean, even the referee actually went and looked at it on camera as well. It was a nice change.
I still think that comes down to it, where it's like, okay, I've not given a penalty. You get something in your ear, you need to go and look at that again. That automatically is going to change something in your brain, in your mind, to go and think, right, I've really got to look for something because they think I might have missed something. Yeah. So you're then looking for something to give, I think. And obviously it's annoying it's happened against my team, but that is what annoys me about VAR in the sense of it, that it's just irritating. It's just irritating when that happens. I don't think it was a penalty. I think most things I've seen on Twitter suggest it probably wasn't a penalty, just because of how Lindelof was moving his body and his arm was actually out in a movement to start running in that direction.
It also wasn't a retake.
Well, again, by the rules it is, but...
No, but the thing is that you will find inconsistencies around that. Otherwise, they're going to have so many retaken penalties.
100%.
It's like we can't even celebrate goals now. We can't even celebrate. We can't even have penalties that we know. Like that should be so clear cut. It's just. I think it's just. You almost need a bloody starting gate, like a horse racing. Little thing comes up, and as soon as the referee, I don't know, clicks, and he can come forward. It's just
so unfair on the keeper, because their natural reaction is to dive towards the ball to close the angle down, like move towards the ball and dive and use the spring of that foot. So they'll take a step forward and then spring off that foot to try and guess the direction or make the save. And also, Jordan Ayew should have been penalised because it was a terrible penalty. He literally stopped, looked where he was putting it, and then P-rolled it in that direction. It was rubbish. But anyway, the game itself...
He gets taken off penalty duty the next minute.
Yeah. Which I was always told that once you had chosen a penalty taker, then you're then not allowed to change that penalty taker for the same penalty if it's retaken. Obviously, that's not a rule.
I do not know, Dave. Unless you've just uncovered something and we're about to see it in the media for the rest of this afternoon.
Well, yeah, but that is what I was told when I used to play in Bristol. That is what I was told. Once you've picked a penalty taker, so because my team got a penalty in Bristol and it was skied over the bar, and the referee said it has to be a retake, and we tried to change the taker, and he was like, no, he's still got to take it because he was your designated penalty taker, and it's just another infringement. So, but anyway, yeah, the game itself was absolutely dire. Lindelof and Maguire looked like... Maguire, I don't know. Maguire's a tough one.
Maguire looked okay. Lindelof was pretty much at fault for a couple of goals, wasn't he?
All three, in some respects, yeah. All three. But I think... I don't know if... Maguire may be affected by the thing with Greece that's happened in Greece, and it may change how he's playing on the pitch, which means he may not communicate as much or whatever with Lindelof, but the whole defence looks shocking. Luke Shaw, I don't think, played very well. Rashford was really quiet. Daniel James was horrendous, taken off at half-time. Timothy Fosu-Mensah shouldn't have started. I don't know, it's because if we haven't had the break and there hasn't been this rest, but we looked horrendous. Absolutely awful all across the pitch. I stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning to watch it. It was rubbish. Absolutely terribly bad. Hated it. Now, can we move on? Van der Beek scored, so that's all right.
Yes, he did, yeah. I would say about Palace, though. Palace in September 2017 lost back-to-back games in Manchester, 4-0 and 5-0. September 2017.
Yeah.
Since then, they have not lost in Manchester.
Unbelievable.
Against City and United, they have not lost in the last 3 years.
That's ridiculous. What is it, 2 draws against City and 2 wins against us?
No, so they beat Man City 3-1 with Andres Townsend goal of the season a couple of years back.
Yeah.
And just as another little stat, Palace didn't score 3 goals in a game all of last season.
Cheers, mate. Thanks. Right. Arsenal, West Ham.
The Davos Suker derby, that is, for anyone interested.
The Ray Parlour derby.
Oh, I don't like Ray Parlour.
No? Okay, fine.
No.
Davos
Suker it's actually a well-trodden path, is that one? Lucas Fabianski.
Oh, yeah. Very true, yeah.
Lee Dixon.
Yeah.
I was looking at a thing the other day around toughest... is it Bleachers Report, the website? And it was toughest players of all time, like hardest players of all time. And it was a list of something like 20 players. And number 19 was Lee Dixon. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't get that.
I think number 18 or something was like Breda Hangland. I was like, what? Both of those just kind of threw me out. I mean, the rest of the list was kind of like okay, but I completely lost faith in the list after that. I was like, that is just nonsensical.
No, don't get that. Now, this is a game that I didn't watch. I have watched the highlights, though. Did you manage to watch this one?
I did watch this one, and this is very much West Ham failing to win it. They had so many chances to win this, and they had a better XG, I like.
Yep.
2.06 West Ham, 1.33 for Arsenal. It was a poor Arsenal performance, but under Emery, for example, that would have been a draw. All day, that would have been a draw. That is the difference that Arteta's making. That is now 3 points. It's not a nice 3 points, but it is 3 points. And straight from the off, West Ham looked like a dangerous side. Arsenal seemed to be able to very poorly clear their lines. There's a lot of times where a ball would come forward and to clear it, and it would go to West Ham midfield. Whether that was like good West Ham pressing, but it was just they were really going to apply pressure to themselves. Kolasinac came in for Tierney injured beforehand and had a bit of a shocker, to be honest with you, really. They play Liverpool next, so I imagine that they want Tierney back and Kolasinac not in that side because that will be a lot harder for them. But I mean, this is a weird issue I had with VAR in this match. So either they've done away with the protractors and lines and grids and on the offside here because that looked offside. Aubameyang running through looked offside for Arsenal's first goal. So I saw them kind of line up a little bit and then it went away. But I would love to see the hairbreadth offside calculations because I would say that is going to be. I just didn't show it, and that's what I'm somewhat okay with that not being a process anymore because I didn't quite like it. But there needs to be some communication about it. If that's the case now, because a lot of fans will be sitting there going, "Hold on," like I am going, "Where that was offside last season? Is that not offside anymore?"
Yeah, where's your red and blue line? Get it out. Where's it? Yeah. It's
and really analyse it, and because Spurs fell foul of it a number of times, and so I was like, "Well, okay." And then the other end of it, you had a bet on this just for fun, for Jared Bowen, Gabriel. For me, it's a foul all day long. His left foot just comes across, trips him, and I would say that is a foul.
Yeah,
personally.
I was a bit annoyed by that. I didn't, not just because I had a little bet on it, but yes, that's more of a penalty than the Lindelof one.
Oh yeah.
And I don't understand how it's not given. I just don't.
And there's another instance with Gabriel heading it clear off his upper arm, as it were. It's like, well, yeah, that's what we're calling for consistency. I mean, it's super hard to get consistency because it's a live match with so many things different on with different people each week. But it does feel like, I mean, I'd like clarity on is like, are they now not going down to the Nat's cock kind of detail on the offsides?
Yeah. Very irritating. But like you say, a good result for Arsenal. And I mean, they've done well. A number of games to happen, still to play, obviously, still to go through this week. But sort of similar to what I asked about Everton. What do you think about Arsenal? What do you think their aspirations and then realistic finishes?
Yeah, so obviously news we missed out on. Aubameyang's confirmed, signed his new deal this week. That's very good for them. Aspirations.
Top 4 and build on that, or
I mean, I think it'll be similar to Everton, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think they've got inherently the side there. They've both got good managers, it seems. I mean, I think obviously Arteta, I've got a small sample size, but he seems to have made a difference. Ancelotti has obviously shown his class over the years. They both started pretty well. Their first and second, both those sides. Differing performances, but I just think that they'll probably are happy with top 6, but they may just fade away a little. Which it's going to be a tough season. There's a lot of almost sides there at the moment. It's no guaranteed top 4 and top 6 now.
No, and that's I think pretty much of a muchness of how I feel of it as well. I think there's a lot of could be maybe sides, and it could be the year that someone sneaks into the top 6 that's unexpected. Maybe like an Everton finishing 5th, or
especially with a different pre-season for clubs. It's not like it's been a really settled start. It kind of I think it levels the playing ground a little. Obviously, other years you'd have tours of Asia, tours of Australasia, tours of America, which impact things. But I don't know. It may take sides. They may just have their core group of players who come back fit fortuitously.
Yeah.
And can have a really good start. Like Everton have a good start, and it may take other sides a bit longer to get up and running, and therefore they're fighting a losing battle. But it's will be a bit of a fascinating season this one, especially with the Euros and no winter break. It's I think maybe players will be thinking about managing their workload and physical load, and be a bit more cautious.
Yeah, let's see what happens. So moving into today, in fact, Southampton, Tottenham. Quick prediction. What are you saying?
Draw. I mean, Southampton started poorly. They lost midweek in the EFL Cup, but we're playing away midday. I don't know. I would, to be honest, at the moment, I'd take a draw, but because Southampton were a good side last year, you can't be losing the opening 2 matches. But we obviously played in Europe on Thursday. I would probably take a draw at this point.
Okay, Newcastle, Brighton.
Strange one. Newcastle obviously started surprisingly well. Brighton, I think they've done well. I'd say a few goals in this match. Maybe Newcastle to nick it.
All right, and then the big game of probably the weekend, Chelsea-Liverpool.
I would quite like to see Chelsea get a spanking.
Okay, is that what you think is going to happen, or is that just what you'd like?
Yeah, I think it will be a bit of a spanking. Actually, I think Chelsea were very much a work in progress. Didn't fire at all. Liverpool, I think we might see Liverpool play well in big matches this season, but maybe those lesser matches where they won it last year, they fall away. But I think they'll do well with it. Do we know if Thiago or Jota have signed in time to play or will play?
Don't know. I'm not sure because Thiago might have done because he signed a day earlier, didn't he, than Jota?
Yeah.
So then you got Leicester, Burnley, Villa, Sheffield United, and Wolves versus Man City across Sunday night, Monday, going to Monday. I don't know what the time.
Leicester, Burnley. I'm going Leicester because I don't think it's funny having a Sunday night match. It still feels very much like lockdown football. Obviously, it is lockdown football. But I feel there's a different vibe to it still. Even though it's a new season, it still feels funny with the stream of kickoffs, no fans. I'm looking forward to getting back to being a fan. And having whether we go back to a football schedule in terms of timings of it, I don't think they can do Sunday night at 7:00. Burnley fans going down to Leicester. Got to get back to work in Mill on Monday morning.
Yeah, Wolves, Man City. Man City win, or do you think Wolves will? I
think Wolves have been a bit of a bogey side for them, but I don't know. I just feel like the transfer dealings of Wolves is somewhat weakened them.
Yeah.
I feel like Man City first game back though, and it might have a bit of a hangover like you guys have had.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it might be a draw. Aston Villa, Sheffield United. I'd say Villa to come out on top.
Ooh.
Sheffield United have had a bit of a tough start.
Okay. Interesting. Right then, let's move on to I got a wiki file. Here comes a wiki file. I got a wiki file for you. Hey! So, there's no redacted version of that song. Never. Your wiki file is on the screen, Josh. Say what you see, and if you see it, say it.
Okay, we start off in the early 90s. 91 to 99 was a youth career, ranging from Viennese, Ancora Praia, and Braga, so we're in Portugal.
Nailed those names.
In the late 90s, in 1999, 2001, we step up to Braga B, 13 appearances, 0 goals. We then make the step up to Braga, 3 years in Braga's A team, 62 appearances, 3 goals. 2002, we then cross over to Lisbon, to Benfica, 2 years there, 02-04, 75 appearances, 19 goals for Benfica. We then make our Carnival qualifying transfer. We make our move for a year, 04-05, Chelsea, 34 appearances, 4 goals. We then move on to Lyon for a couple of years, 56 appearances, 9 goals. 4 years in Italy, over at Juventus.
Sort of.
42 appearances, 0 goals. We then complete the trifecta of England, Spain, France, and Italy, and go to Atletico Madrid. Little loan spell, Atletico Madrid, 49 appearances, 6 goals, and then we like it lots there. So we end our career 6 years at Atletico Madrid permanently, 126 appearances, 11 goals, taking us to a total of 457 appearances, 52 goals, just a little bit better than 1 in 10. And I'm thinking midfielder. I'm thinking midfielder, but why can I not think of a player? Portuguese midfielder playing for Chelsea. So I've got some options, but none of them are jumping out to me. So we have Portuguese midfielders for Chelsea. Raul Meireles, but he went to Liverpool, so it's not him. Maniche, he was at Porto, so it's not him. I assume I'm right with a Portuguese midfielder, Dave?
You are correct with midfielder and Portuguese. Would you like international stats?
International stats, please, Dave.
Portugal under 21s, 2000 2002, 21 appearances, 3 goals. 2002 to 2015, Portugal senior team, 66 appearances, 3 goals.
I'm trying to think of a Benfica. So players that play for Benfica and Chelsea, I've got David Luiz and Matic. I haven't got a Portuguese midfielder playing for Benfica. So let me think about. Then moves on to Lyon, Portuguese midfielder for Lyon. No, Juventus, Portuguese midfielder for Juventus.
Get that Excel filter working.
Yeah, Portuguese midfielder for Atletico Madrid. I'm really drawing a blank here, which is...
He scored an absolutely stunning goal against Man United, who had Roy Carroll in goal.
An absolutely stunning goal for Chelsea.
For Chelsea, yeah.
Against Man United, Roy Carroll in goal. I mean, the only Portuguese midfielder I can think of scoring goal against Roy Carroll didn't count. So,
and he didn't play for Chelsea.
He didn't play for Chelsea.
Oh, have I stumped you? Huge credit goes to the guy that I played golf with yesterday, Ollie, who suggested this person as a wonderful Wikifile.
So when are we talking midfield? Are we talking what kind of... Do you want to narrow down the midfield position for me?
Well, this says playing position midfielder. I would suggest that Chelsea, he was more... he was
did Chelsea have Simao?
Box to box, no, it's not Simao.
Did Simao ever make it to the Premier League?
I think if you were to put this player in like modern day Football Manager, his green circle would be box to box midfielder. Maybe deep line playmaker.
I've just thought of Deco, but it's not him. Box to box midfielder.
I would say I remember this guy more at Atletico. His 6 years he played at Atletico Madrid. I don't really remember him at Juventus. Wasn't interested in Lyon at the time. Obviously, I remember him at Chelsea.
Oh man, this is going to really irk me. This is my bread and butter. I should be getting this player. What? Any other tidbits of information you can give me rather than give me the outright answer?
Okay, let's have a look. He was known mainly for his work rate, tenacity, and tackling ability, as well as his accurate distribution of the ball after winning back possession.
Is it Thiago?
It is Thiago. These attributes earned him the nickname the Washing Machine during his time at Lyon. Yes, Thiago Mendes. Yeah. So I was trying to give you the clue with the Roy Carroll thing, because get your brain thinking of Pedro Mendes and then go to Thiago.
Oh, I know. I don't think I'd have remembered his surname. Well, probably not even his surname, but the Mendes bit.
Yeah, Thiago Mendes.
Yeah, his little Alice band, little curly hair. Yeah, I do remember his Atletico Madrid career.
Yeah, that's it. I remember him more at Chelsea and Atletico Madrid. So, are we going to say that I stumped you on that one? Was that?
Yeah, I think you gave me far too many clues there to make it think that I got that myself. I mean, I did get it myself in the end, but that was like 0.1 of a point, I'd say.
Okay, a little bit of a fun fact for you. Immediately after he retired from football, he spent 1 year as assistant manager to Diego Simeone, Atletico Madrid. So he finished playing, became assistant manager straight away, Atletico Madrid, where he left that role and has worked with every single age group from under 15s to under 20s for Portugal. He's currently recently been employed, signing a 2-year contract with Vitória de Guimarães as the head coach.
Oh, I feel like there's a manager in the making there. I think we'll be hearing from him in a few years' time, doing bits.
You can see him, his combative style of playing coming out and then learning more of that defensive mentality, counter-attacking football from Simeone. So, yeah, should be good. But excellent. There we go.
Well done, Dave. That was a good one, that was. It was a foreign player. It was, corner rule, ride-out rule. Yeah, very well done.
Excellent. Glad you're happy with that. But I think that's about it, unless you've got any AOB.
No AOB.
Okay, well, if you enjoy the podcast, you can follow us over on YouTube, Spotify and SoundCloud, where all of our back catalogue is uploaded for your listening pleasure. You can just find a search for Football Talk, scroll down until you see our nice little green bubble logo. I don't know, Josh, I feel like maybe we need a sort of rebrand at some point, now that we're doing this.
Reboot, yeah?
Yeah, now that we're doing this a bit more consistently, and we've got, we've been doing it for over 112 episodes now. We should, maybe try and push ourselves out there a little bit more with something a bit more, or a bit less generic than just Football Talk, which is what I came up with in the pub in a rush.
Oh, to make it, we can make it actually easier for people to
find us.
Search rather than two of the most generic words in the English language.
Yeah, exactly. However, if you did want to find us on Twitter, that's easy to do because we're at Football Talk. But remember,
there's no A in football.
There's no A in football. So thank you so much for listening, for watching if you're on YouTube. But we're going to say farewell and we will see you next week. Cheers. Well, hopefully Man United don't lose to Brighton. See you later, everybody. Ta-ta.